Question number 12, let's get right into it. All right, guys, I am so excited to do this problem for you guys because this is basically what I wanted my channel to be all about. It's about solving math from first principles so that you don't have to memorize any formulas and you could basically just think about things and derive the formulas on the spot, okay? So let me go ahead and read this problem and let me show you exactly what I mean, okay? So we're given this equation here. This is a formula for a parabola, okay? And it says in the quadratic equation above, a is a non-zero constant. The graph of the equation in the xy plane is a parabola with vertex c, comma d, which of the following is equal to d. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even remember the formula for a parabola, okay? All I know is that you can have a parabola, right, that looks something like this, and this point down here, that's the vertex, okay? And again, it could also be, facing downward like that, right? And then you'd have the vertex right there, okay? So that's basically all you need to know. You just need to know that very fundamental fact, okay? So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to figure out if I can extract any information from this, okay? So we have that y is equal to ax multiplied by x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 4. So guys, I can find the roots from this, okay? And if you recall, and I'm probably gonna make a future video, but basically the roots are these x values where y equals 0, okay? So if my parabola looks something like this and it shoots up through that x-axis there, right? My roots are gonna be these 2 points, okay? And it gets the word roots, and a lot of times it'll be called like x-intercepts or roots or solutions, but basically a root is just x value when y equals 0, okay? And it's called roots because look, it goes from this, this negative y value to that positive y value, right here, right? Okay. All right, guys, so now that we know that information, what I'm gonna do is, in order to calculate these roots, I am going to plug in 0 for y. So 0 equals a multiplied by x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 4, okay? And here's the thing, all right, guys. If I have 0 on this side, any of these 3 values could be equal to 0, right? So a could be equal to 0 because, again, 0 times anything is just 0, right? So any of these terms could be 0, okay? So with that in mind, and again, I don't really care about a right now because it tells me that a is a non-zero constant, okay? So a is not equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, well, let's try this one. Let's try 0 equals x minus 2, and then 0 equals x plus 4, and let's solve for x. So in this case, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. I'm going to get x equals positive 2. And then over here, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and I'm going to get x equals negative 4. All right, guys, so this is super important, all right? And let me go ahead and write it up here. So I have x equals 2 and x equals negative 4. All right, guys, so here's the thing about this, all right? Now that I have this information, what I know is that if I have a graph, right? Let me just sketch a little graph here for you. If I have a graph, that means I'm going to have one root right here, right, at x equals 2, and then one root right over here at x equals negative 4. Okay, guys, so that's all cool. You're probably thinking now, what can we do with that information? Okay, now here's the thing. If you recall, right, a parabola is always going to be, it's going to be symmetric, right? It's always going to be symmetric. So what that means is that the vertex point is this point that is between the 2 roots, okay? So if this is negative 4 and this is negative 2, it's going to be between these 2 roots, okay? Now, granted, I don't know if the vertex is up here or if it's down here, right? I don't know that. But fundamentally, I know that the vertex has to be somewhere right here, okay? So let's figure out what that midpoint is, okay? So let's see here. For the midpoint, I'm going to do 2 plus negative 4, and I'm going to divide by 2. So let's see here, that's going to be negative 2 divided by 2. I'm going to get negative 1. Okay, guys, so our middle point is going to be negative 1, okay? So, guys, remember, the vertex is going to have this form CD, right? CD. So what that means is that now I know what C is, okay? C is going to be negative 1, so C equals negative 1. Okay, so guys, what I can do is if I have this is an x value, right? This also equals x. So with this in mind, I know that, well, I don't know what y is, right? I don't know what this y value is, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set y equal to d, oops, and I'm going to say that d equals a, and then my x value, again, is going to be this negative 1, so negative 1 minus 2, and then negative 1 plus 4, and now I'm going to solve for d. So I'm going to get a multiplied by negative 3, and then multiplied by, let's see here, what is this? This is going to be 3. So now I have d equals negative 9a. All right, guys, so that's our answer. Let's go ahead and see which one it is. Okay, so it's going to be A. All right, guys, so that's our answer. So if you pay attention to how I was thinking through that, I did not need to know anything about the equation or any rules for figuring out the vertex. All I had to do here was just use some reasoning skills and essentially figure out that this is what the y value for the vertex has to be. Okay, so again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I will see you in the next question.